Longtime Hallmarks star Alexa PenaVega has been hospitalized for nearly a week due to a serious pregnancy complication. She revealed in an Instagram video posted from her hospital room on March 18, 2024. The mom of three, who's been married to fellow Hallmark star and Big Time Rush member Carlos PenaVega since January 2014, is in her third trimester of a pregnancy that's been fraught with complications including terrible morning sickness, painful varicose veins, and a 4-centimeter tear that caused bleeding in her first trimester. Since those early complications, the family moved on a whim from their houseboat off the coast of Florida to a house in Tennessee. They revealed on March 15. In her latest post, Alexa expressed how grateful she is that they trusted the inexplicable pull they felt to move there because she's now under the care of amazing nurses and doctors. After many tests, she said, her medical team has determined she suffered a partial separation of the placenta from the uterus. Every single day that I'm still pregnant here in the hospital is literally a miracle, she said, adding that it's a waiting game for all of us. Here's what you need to know. Alexa began her video on March 18 by sharing that she'd been in the hospital for 5 days and had debated whether to publicly share her latest trial. 2 days prior, the Never Too Late to Celebrate alluded to a recent hospitalization in her Instagram stories, but didn't indicate at the time that she was still in the hospital. Remember when I said this pregnancy has been eventful, she wrote, and then posted a photo of herself in a hospital bed, surrounded by Carlos and their kids, sons Ocean, 7, and Kingston, 4, and daughter Rio, almost 3. Over that photo, she wrote, "Last week this happened." But gotta give a shout out to some amazing nurses between 2 hospitals in Tennessee: Emily, Michaela, Hal, and Sarah. Dream team, it's been a wild ride. Alexa wrote on a third slide. As of now, baby is still cooking. Praise the Lord. The amazing prayer warrior friends have been hard at work, and it has shown through and through. In her March 18 video, Alexa shared further details of why she'd been hospitalized. I started bleeding a little bit like a week and a half ago, she said, adding that although she'd experienced temporary bleeding with the tears she had early in her pregnancy, she thought it was odd to have bleeding begin again in her third trimester, so she went in to get checked. Bleeding ended up stopping, and I was released and all was good, she recalled, but then added that things took a turn one morning when she woke up at 5 a.m. to use the bathroom. I made it to the bathroom without any issues, but it was the second that I sat down to use the restroom that blood just kind of went everywhere, Alexa explained. There was definitely this moment of like, this is bad. This is not good. There was a lot of blood everywhere, and I was pretty sure there was other liquids as well. Alexa said she screamed for Lowe's, and that when he rushed into the bathroom, the scene obviously probably freaked him out a whole lot. They piled their kids into the car, she said, and they raced to the hospital. In her video, Alexa shared that the hardest part of the ordeal is that she couldn't feel her baby kicking. I was just praying over my stomach and still, doing everything I could to just push baby to get, a little bit of movement, she recalled. And by the grace of God, on the drive over, baby finally started kicking and moving and squirming around, so I think it was just asleep. But that was definitely very scary. Alexa said her condition, a partial separation of the placenta from the uterus, has stabilized to a place that can be maintained and monitored, but no one is sure for how long. She said, now it's just a matter of, how long can we keep it like this? How long can I keep baby in my tummy? Have to be in the hospital for. According to the Mayo Clinic, the condition Alexa described, formerly called placental abruption, is an uncommon yet serious complication that happens when the placenta partly or completely separates from the inner wall of the uterus, which can cause heavy bleeding for the mother and decrease or block the supply of oxygen and nutrients to the baby. Alexa said that she had already been taking it very, very easy at home. So it's unknown why she developed the complication. She hopes to be released from the hospital so she can finish out her pregnancy at home, she said. The serendipity of this crisis happening weeks after the PenaVegas decided to sell their houseboat and move their family to Tennessee is not lost on the actress. "I just laugh at even God's timing with us," she said in her video. Deciding to leave the boat, which was a really, really hard choice because we were so dedicated to that journey, but then arriving here and literally within 2 weeks experiencing this. I can't imagine what would have happened had we been on the boat or in, the middle of the Bahamas or on some island. Thank God we were here and that I'm getting the care I'm getting. I'm just so thankful. Alexa finished her video by sharing how grateful she is for people's prayers and added, "I'm just gonna cherish every extra day that I get with little baby. Thank you for your prayers and just keep on praying because we still have a little ways to go and this baby needs to cook." The PenaVegas explain how leaving Los Angeles helped them find a community of their own. Alexa PenaVega started acting at age 4 and landed in the Spy Kids franchise by 12. Now at 32, she continues to act in movies like indie drama Mighty Oak and Hallmarks Picture Perfect mystery series. The actress married fellow young star, Big Time Rush's Carlos PenaVega in 2014, and the couple have since welcomed 2 sons, who they're raising in their Maui home. But Alexa recognizes that not every child star navigates the spotlight with as much success as she and Carlos have. It can be a really tricky industry, the mother of 2 tells POPL. Fantastic experiences. Alexa credits that to having a really strong team around to kick your butt when you get out of line, and her mother's dedication to her career from a young age. "My mom was a single mom for a long time, and she raised 3 kids and took me to every audition with my sisters," Alexa recalls. "It was the 4 of us, and we would travel everywhere. My sisters, they could be hanging out with their friends, going to birthday parties, doing all those things. But instead, they were traveling with us because my mom wanted to make sure to keep the family together. Because a lot of the horror stories you do hear, it's when all these families get split up. When you don't have the parent actually raising the kids, it's whoever they're around that actually ends up influencing them and raising them." Accordingly, the Florida native doesn't take for granted her mother's sacrifice. "I worked really hard in giving a lot up for me to be able to get to the place that I did," Alexa says. She also appreciates the kid-friendly environment Spy Kids created on the sets for the movies. "They wanted us to be kids," Alexa says. "So on our lunch breaks, we would all go out in the field, and we'd be looking for scorpions and lizards and crazy things because we were shooting at these abandoned airport hangars. And my sisters, if they weren't doing schoolwork, they were in the prop house learning how to make their own solar ovens and making their own computers because the prop guys were so cool that they wanted to teach all these kids. It just gave us a very different upbringing." The Spy Kids cast and crew formed a small little family, Alexa says, adding that her on-screen brother Daryl Sabara is my lifelong brother. "When we were filming those movies, we really were like brother and sister," she continues. "And we would fight so much just like brother and sister.